Hey, welcome back. So, today I would like to talk about the importance of self-care. Now, I know sometimes we hear it and we think self-care, self-care, self-care. Where am I going to find the time for self-care? And it is difficult when you're raising children. That's all the time you have. You got your job, maybe, or even if you're a stay-at-home mom, it's craziness. Keeping your house clean enough that the kids don't get taken away by the health department. But self-care is so important. There were times when I was raising my children that I felt I lost myself. Like I wasn't me anymore. I was just mom, 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 mom. And I needed to be me again for my own mental health, for my own everything, to be the person. I couldn't continue to be mom, 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 mom if I didn't have something else. Those were times when to bring back an old hobby or to say, hey, I need a break. I am going to hire a babysitter and go out for a walk. David could stay home and maybe I could go do something else when they were really little and we didn't want to leave them a lot. And finding babysitters wasn't easy and we didn't have a lot of money. So hiring a babysitter wasn't easy. And then there were times as they got older that they were gone and the house would be quiet and I could use that time to not reinvent myself, but to find things that I love doing and had missed doing. So more self-care, sort of, with the whole fact that there were things I used to like to do before I became a mom, and I let those things go. So I go back and find those again. I love to crochet. I love to knit. I love to read. I love to write. I love to learn new things. So I had to take some time away from my family and do things for myself. Another thing with self-care is exercise. If I don't get out and walk and exercise every day, well, 5 days a week, I'm going to give you the fact Saturdays are too crazy when they were little and Sundays were church and just family dinner. But 5 days a week, I had to get out and walk. And when they were little, strollers, sure. But then as I got bigger, I didn't have enough hands to hold all the hands that needed to go across the street. So there were times that, I was like, okay, you can run to the corner, but wait for me. Don't go across the street. And Gunnar would walk to the corner. He'd have a book in his head. Half the time he'd run into a pole because he was paying attention to the book. Cutter would run to the corner. He'd run back. He'd run the corner, run back, run the corner, run back. And by the time we got to the corner, he had to have darn near walked 6 blocks. So everybody's different. But I needed that time to get out. Even if they were with me, I needed to get outside. I needed to breathe. I needed to use my body, walk, use my muscles. As I got older and I was working full time, I had a harder time finding the time. So I had a treadmill and I would get up early in the morning and I would walk on the treadmill. And then when I was working on my prep times, I would also get out and walk the hallways, which was never a bad thing because you're like, hey, you need to get back to class. Where's your pass? Get back to class. And I can love to tease them too when they're out. Why are you out here? What are you getting up to? Are you getting in trouble? So there was always some way for me to get out and move my body. Now, weightlifting, no, I didn't have time to go to the gym. I just had time to walk. In the nice weather, it was much easier than in the winter, but the treadmill, I honestly think the treadmill saved my life because insanity was creeping up with all the craziness going on around me and so my family and craziness. So the treadmill, I could always walk and I could watch TV or I could read or I could listen to music or podcasts or whatever, and it helped keep me sane. And I made the mistake of saying about 6 months ago, if I couldn't walk, I don't know how I could survive. And then I broke my foot. And 7 weeks. Well, I kept going and doing all the normal things until it got to the point I couldn't hardly move my foot or walk on it. And the pain was so intense. I finally went to the doctor and they told me, no, it's broken. You need 6 to 8 weeks off of it. I was like, no, I have to walk. I have to move. There's no way I could sit for 6 to 8 weeks. So they put me in a little boot so I could drive if I had to, even though I don't drive that often, and then a bigger boot for when I was in a lot of people. And I made it. It was tough, but I did it. And I'll tell you, my foot is supposedly healed, but it can take up to a year. And so sometimes it still aches. If I drive too much, it hurts. And so I've learned to Yep, I'm still gonna go exercise, but I'm gonna have to back up. I'm gonna have to back off the intensity and the amount. And so I'm still exercising. It's just, actually, it's more than it was for 7 weeks. It was nothing for 7 weeks. And now it's getting better. And every day I think I have less pain. I still can't wear regular shoes, which is a bit disappointing because I have a lot of shoes, because like a lot of people, I love shoes. And so I'm wearing Crocs. Yep. And to keep my toes out. And I got some ultra, I think I want to say, running shoes or walking shoes, because I walk, so I can spread my toes. I have another pair of canvas shoes that are too tight. So I went out and found one with a wide toe box. That's about it. I tried some sandals. They get right where that bone, where the three bones, it's just not good. It just puts too much pressure there. So I don't know when I'm going to get back into my real shoes. So I'm just going to look fun all summer. But that's okay, because it's getting better. But self-care, sit down, read a book, go outside, take a walk, go take a bath. Just say to your family, I need just a little bit of time. Lock your door. You know, there was times where I would go into the bathroom and lock the door, and little fingers would come under the door. Mom, 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 mom. I still didn't open the door. I needed some time. They will survive. It's also, you know how your cell phone, people text you and call you and all the time? You can not answer the call. You can wait to reply to the text. It's okay. They will survive. If you're in the middle of something like a bath or a book or even a walk and you don't want to talk to someone or text with someone or chat with someone, it's okay. You can do that. You can call them back later. You can text them later. They will survive. And if it's real important, they'll call again and again, like my children do. On the fourth call, I'll probably pick it up. But you need to take care of you, all right? And I'm not talking spa days that you can't afford or big, huge vacations you can't afford. No, just the tiny little things you can do at home. Take a bath. Sit in the car if you need to get away from the chaos in the house. Just ask your significant other, I need a break. Hire a babysitter. You know, do what you need to do. Take a respite night at a local gym or, you know, the city. Do what you need to do so that you can do what you need to do in your life. All right? It's easier said than done. But if you don't take the time for self-care, you won't have the time to do what is most important. Taking care of your family, doing your job, making sure everyone has what they need. You need to take care of you first. Just like they say in the airplane, you have to take your oxygen mask first before helping anyone else. Because if you pass out, you're no good to anyone. If you end up sick, you're no good to anyone. If you end up in the stress unit because you're so incredibly stressed, you're no good to anyone. So take care of yourself, do it well, so that you can do everything else well in your life too. Hey, I would love to hear about how you handle stress, how you handle taking care of yourself and taking time for yourself, because it is difficult. And I think if we can share those things with each other, we'll realize I'm not the only one who struggles with this. No, I bet we all struggle with self-care. We all struggle with time for ourselves. And not to be selfish, this is just for survival. So just, you know, let me know. I would love to hear from you. And oh, my computer just kind of went crazy there. But thanks so much for stopping by. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. And I'll be posting more information about families, aging, exercise, all the fun things that we have to do in our lives, and somehow figure out how to prioritize them and get them all fit them all in. Thanks so much. Have a wonderful day.